Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our tarot reading for the week of the 30th of January. I hope you've all had a really good week, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the cards have to tell us today. Let's have a look and see. Okay, let's see what the cards have for us here. Oh, so we have the Eight of Swords, which I believe we had last week. Queen of Swords, and we have the Chariot. Okay, so the Eight of Swords is our minor arcana card. So this is a card that is talking to us with regards to our sort of daily kind of behavior, our thoughts and things like that on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. The Queen of Swords is our court card, which is very much about aspects of ourself, or it could be maybe somebody that would be close to us. And the Chariot is our major arcana card, which is very much about the sort of psychic forces that are driving our behavior, if you like. Okay, now I think it's kind of interesting that we have the Eight of Swords come up again from last week. So let's revisit this. So the Eight of Swords is very much, it's about feeling kind of fenced in, which is sort of kind of obvious from the card here. It's about feeling trapped and feeling bound by a situation. And but generally speaking, with we're looking at sort of a situation of the mind, because the swords are very much about the intellect. They're about our thoughts. They're about our mental situation, and so there's lots of feelings kind of associated with this card as well. And because we're feeling, with this card, it's about feeling powerless, or it's about feeling victimized. And even though there's even though our concepts and our ideas are our thoughts, they do bind us to our feelings. And that then in turn creates these very personal, into very personal dilemmas and problems. So it's quite an interesting card here, because if you look at it, we're looking at somebody who's not very tightly bound here. So she could probably untie herself here. So this card is telling us that it's very much about what's happening inside of us, more so than really what's happening on the outside. So, if you could imagine then that this person could actually free herself if she made the effort, but it's almost as if she's sabotaging her chances to move on by remaining restricted, because it's actually easier to do that. Sometimes it's easier to flounder in a state of vulnerability in the hope that somebody will rescue us. So this card is very much suggesting that you need to focus and find clarity rather than assume that you're going to be rescued from your victimized feelings, because nobody can rescue us from ourselves. That is entirely for us to do for ourselves. And, I know that solutions aren't always easy, but they are there. And if you open yourself to possibilities, you won't have to play the victim. So this card is signifying that you may be restricted by real events. So you may be somebody that's in a codependent relationship, or you may be in a boring job, or you may not have a job, or you may not have enough money. And all of these things which would make you feel trapped or confused and unable to shift. And this is where we're going to be looking at the other cards to see, how this is panning out, if you like. So, but going back to the eight, this card is reminding you that you do have choices and that there is a way out if you use the power of objectivity and clear thinking. So this card is encouraging you to free yourself from your troubles by letting go of those concepts or ideas to which you remain attached to. And if you look at the colour here, like this lady, she's dressed in a red colour. Well, red suggests passion and courage. So this card is telling me that this is something that you have. You have the passion, you have the courage. You may be feeling a bit beaten down, but the eights are in the tarot. The eights are cards of strength. And so it's, and you have the strength, but you also have the courage, because we're looking at the Eight of Swords. And so your strength actually lies in your mental ability to find new solutions. So thinking compared with your inner reserves of strength and determination are what will help you to get out of this situation that you feel that you're in. And so although the Eight of Swords can describe your physical restrictions, they also suggests a new viewpoint, where you might look for a different perspective to find solutions. So we're looking here at a change of attitude that can change your awareness and make you more aware of opportunities. Whereas if you're continuing to go around in that circular thinking, that's where your progress gets limited. So this card is really saying it's time to reassess your assumptions to identify outdated attitudes and beliefs. And as I say, now I'm very curious, because this card came up last week, and we had the Ace of Pentacles last week, and we also had the Two of Wands. So this was all very much about new beginnings last week. So this week I'm seeing that there is still that old kind of mental stuff going on, where where assumptions need to be changed. So it's yeah, I'm thought-provoking. This card coming up again is thought-provoking. Now, it brings us on to the Queen of Swords. So this card represents a combination of emotions and intellect leading to understanding. So this, we've got this card is following this one. And it's this queen is very much about rational, clear thinking, and she's very patient. Now, if you look closely here, you can see a tassel on her arm. Well, this tassel is actually the remains of the bindings from this card from the Eight of Swords. So it's kind of where she's saying, like, her understanding of life has actually set her free. So she has broken free here. And this card is to say that if you do break free, then you will learn from your experience with this card. And her head is above the clouds here, and this tells us that it suggests that she can see beyond the emotional ups and downs of life. And so she's kind of beckoning life forward, and with her sword poised, so that she can analyze anything that sort of approaches. This is a very quick-minded personality, excellent organizer, and a very shrewd judge of human nature. Can be a bit of a perfectionist. But this queen will give very sound advice, and this advice is based on her own painful experience over here. And this is a great person to have in your life, because this person loves to talk. So she's happy to share her experiences with you, and give you good guidance. Now, this card is also for thinking about your feelings. So, here we're looking at feeling victimized and feeling powerless, and feeling that you need to be rescued. And this card is about thinking about those feelings, and it's about applying your mind to your emotions in order to make sense of what you're feeling. So that's quite fascinating, isn't it? I mean, once again, we have, the cards, they relate so well to each other. And this queen, the Queen of Swords, she suggests success through clarity of thought. So again, we're going back to, changing your thoughts and having clear clarity. So this queen indicates that it's, time to reflect on your past actions or even on your current situation. So, all of the queens in the tarot are patient. And what this queen is saying, reflect on all of these things, because you don't want to be repeating difficult patterns. And therefore patience is really important. The Queen of Swords also brings order to chaos through clarity and through boundaries. So she doesn't apologise for her right to exist in this world. She stands up to bullies and to societal pressures. So you might want to, I would want to know, like, are you uncomfortable with setting boundaries maybe? Or do you maybe, are you afraid that you might look mean if you set your boundaries? Or is your career or your life path, are they in harmony with your authentic self? So these are questions for you to kind of look at when the Queen of Swords comes up. Now, this queen, she does get really bad press because she's not docile and she's not submissive. She's really powerful and way too powerful to be minimized by mindless kind of societal rules and conventions. So she uses her sword to just cut through hypocrisy of other people's assumptions, concerning how she should act or what she should be. So she won't sell herself short to please others. This queen is a master of transforming that energy that we have over here from victimhood over here to being victorious. She commands respect because she respects herself. And I would say over here that this is where, this is what this card is telling you to do. That's what you need to work on. This queen is saying if you're like her, you will command respect, because it is all about respecting yourself. And, as much as it bothers me to say this, modern society, there's still a problem with women exhibiting intellectual leadership. And, women are so ostracized and ridiculed when they put their heads above the parapet. And, we get referred to as being a bitch for just having an opinion or having a different opinion. And it's horrible. So what this queen is saying, she's saying, do not apologize for your strength or your power or your authentic self. She's saying, own it. So a great card, lovely card. I love that this queen is following this card in for this week, because we really need the characteristics of this queen to move forward and to have courage. And speaking of courage, it's kind of, we now move on to the Chariot. So the Chariot actually symbolizes courage in the face of uncertainty. And again, I just marvel at how these cards are coming out in this reading. So this card represents taking risks and stepping towards that, what you really want in life, even though there's no guarantees. So we're going from being bound by your thoughts and your fears to wanting to be rescued, to this queen saying, no, you're perfectly capable, you're perfectly okay, and you just need to own yourself here and own your stuff. And this card is saying, if you take those risks, then there are great rewards, because the Chariot illustrates that victory does not come from the actual attainment of a goal, but instead it occurs at the exact moment you choose courage instead of fear. And that's absolutely wonderful. Now, if you look at these two sphinxes here, they represent two possible futures. Now, sphinxes they're creatures of riddles and mysteries, and they represent the unknown. And here they're holding their tails and to reveal that accessing the wisdom that is behind you will give you the courage to face the unknowable future. And here you have the Queen accessing her past using her past to access her strength. So they keep sort of, there's a real lovely little choreography thing going on here. And so this card is saying, like, if you leave the safety of your home to go out into the world, which you can see the Chariot is doing, there's the castle all behind, the moat here, the water here, which is a moat, it represents bypassing your emotional decision making, which usually favors our comfort over self-improvement. So, and the stars symbolize seeing the bigger picture. So the stars are about the higher self directing our path, or your path. And then the moon here and here also symbolizes trusting your instincts, and could indicate that the success that you seek could manifest in about 2 months. But I'm more concerned really with I'm more interested really in a way about how this card is saying, leave the safety of your home. And whereas this kind of is a little bit about staying somewhere where maybe, things are just not working out. Maybe it's dangerous for you. But, these are cards saying, you have the courage, and if you have the courage, and if you choose to choose courage, that's the moment when that's where your success lies, because that's the beginning of everything, really, isn't it? It's the beginning of a particular path that you're going to follow. So the charioteer here advancing towards the goal has already won, because he has already made that decision to have courage, which is what this card is about. So it's about making that decision to choose courage instead of choosing the need for comfort and assurance and security to direct your path. So when this card appears, you may need to control opposing forces in your life. And there may be some contradictions that will appear in your present situation, and you're currently having to control them with your mind. So this is all part of that story, and it's very much about success through tenacity. So and if you look here as well, you have the winged disc. Well, this disc depicts the spirit being able to soar above emotional trials. So it represents the ability to keep a clear head on emotional matters, which is exactly what this card is all about. And that's what we're trying to gain here with this card, is to get a clear head. And so as with all of the sevens in the tarot, the chariot is the number 7, and it's very much about don't give up. Don't give up is the key phrase of the sevens, and it's a key. This card is turning up as a key turning point for the better. So it's a very strong position, and although there may be conflicting issues in your life, you have to stand up for your own beliefs and make decisions based on what you want rather than what other people assume is right for you. And here we go back to the Queen of Swords, where she is saying, you know, respect yourself and, you know, don't apologize for your strength and don't apologize for your power or your authentic self. Like, own it. And this card is saying, you know, you may need to change. Well, you do need to change. There's no may about it, because the fact that this card has come up twice, 2 weeks in a row, there's no may about it. You do need to change this circular thinking that's keeping you where you are. You need to break free from that kind of thinking and reassess the assumptions to identify outdated attitudes and beliefs that are keeping you where you are here on this card. So that's our reading for the week of the 30th of January. And so I love it. I absolutely, I love this. And so this is our reading for the week, and if it resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. You can also subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. I would love to hear from you. So you can find my email address in the description of the video below. And this is the point, lovely people, where I'm going to say lots of love, and I will talk to you next week.